What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and let's go through final boss Meliodas and Elizabeth on the global version of Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Now, for this, there are going to be 4 characters fighting Meliodas, Elizabeth, and then Meliodas, Elizabeth again after the revive. I do not have Derieri, which would be the ideal team. So the ideal team, if you just look at everybody, is pretty much mono red, Derieri, Jericho, so that way you get 10% attack boost for all of your characters. I don't have Derieri, so I managed to get a score of 3,000, which is, I could probably maybe sneak in another 100 points, 200 points, maybe if I get some really good RNG, but with a really nice run, you're going to see it right after this. I managed to get that score, so it's not going to get too much better for me. You can also replace Jericho for Escanor, either green or red Escanor, and depending on whichever ult you have hired. If you get a high ult red Escanor, you can go for that as well. So you can have red Escanor here with red Jericho for the 10% attack boost across the board. Otherwise, green Escanor, and since he's doing most of your damage, Alioni for the 10% offensive stats there. So before we actually get into there, let's just talk about what the characters do. So Meliodas and Elizabeth, you can click on each of them down here. In short, they're going to each boost the other character's health. So once you kill one, then the other one lose half their health. So you want to focus one down and then the other one. In phase 1, you want to focus down Demon Melly and then kill Elizabeth after that. Since Elizabeth is really non-threatening, you basically can ult Demon Melly early using your nuker, whoever that is, and then after that, get your ult again, and then kill Elizabeth without ulting, save ult for phase 2, and then ult on phase 2. We also want to start gathering freezes, especially a tier 3 freeze on either our Gustav or Red Merlin. If you have Red Merlin, just using Red Merlin is going to give you a ton of points, so go with that one. Some important passives to note is that Demon Melly can be frozen, but he will remove freezes at the start of his turn. So you can freeze him in order to deal damage, which we're going to use in phase 2. And just like blue Demon Melly, he cannot be attack disabled. The rest of his passives, not too important. Elizabeth can absolutely be frozen and attack disabled. She's immune to corrode, stun, and petrify, which we're not bringing at all. So if she wants to attack, you can stop that with a Gother attack disable, or freeze her in order to stop her turn entirely, and that works for phase 2 as well. So phase 2, Elizabeth, you can still attack disable and freeze her. Demon Melly still cannot be frozen on his turn. You can freeze him and ult him, which we're going to do, and he still cannot be attack disabled. This is the team that I'm going to be using for the Meliodas and Elizabeth fight. We're going to be using Jericho, Gother, Merlin, and Alioni. Don't forget, Jericho, once again, replaceable with either Escanor. You want an Escanor with a number of ult level ups, or Derieri if you did pulls and got lucky. So here I'm going to be focusing on Demon Meliodas first. Demon Meliodas is the damage. Elizabeth, after you kill Demon Meliodas, isn't threatening at all, so you can take your own sweet time to ult Meliodas with your nuker, and then charge your ult again to get ready to ult him again as soon as you get into phase 2. So I'm just going to be throwing away some cards here, getting a rank up on Gother rank ups, that way I can rank up some more cards later. That's what we want to do, get rank ups for rank ups. Got a nice Jericho combine here, so I'm going to be throwing out. Also getting a nice Gother rank up, so this is already turning out to be a pretty nice run with the RNG. Something that we're going to be paying very close attention to is here Liz is going to throw up her buff, defense buff on both characters. Remember that right now Meliodas has about 450,000 hit points, Elizabeth a little bit over 300,000 hit points. And so once you kill one of them, the other one's health is basically going to drop by half, and that's going to make the other one much easier to kill. So there's 340,000 hit points on Elizabeth, 450,000 hit points on Meliodas. So he has more hit points, but we are going to try to kill him first. We are freezing Elizabeth. That will stop her turn, because you can actually stop Elizabeth's turn. Meliodas will cleanse off the freeze This will get rid of buffs one time, which will make it so that way I have to throw away one more freeze to get rid of buffs a second time. And I'm also holding the tier 3 Gother rank up here. This is going to let me get a 20% attack boost on phase 2 so that we can get more damage from Jericho. Also, a little bit of amount of RNG, but if it's possible for you to stall out a few turns on Elizabeth and not have her hit your Gother, you can start building up those Gother passes as well for another huge bit of damage. So I'm going to rank up this freeze, and then ult Meliodas. Turns out I'm actually not going to need this freeze because we're going to get the crit. But if we didn't get the crit, it would have been a lot more. We would actually still needed to attack him. So nice crit, takes him right out. And now we can focus on building up Jericho ult once again, and that's the only priority. Build Jericho ult. Make sure we have a tier 3 freeze going into phase 2, and also have Merlin ult as well. Gother ult isn't necessary, and you'll actually see me throw away the Gother ult in a little bit. Although it is nice damage for phase 2, not necessary at all. Just the Jericho and the Merlin ult. If you're using Gustav's ult is not going to deal anywhere near as much damage as Merlin's ult will. And you'll need to do a little bit more damage. So Gustav and Gother ults will help you kill the Elizabeth in phase 2, but she's not very dangerous. You can take your time to kill it slowly over there. So we got the freeze in our hand ready to go so that we can freeze and get rid of buffs, and then you're going to see the mission clear in just a second. And I did not draw any Jericho cards, so we just have to play things slow. So freeze, got rid of buffs, get the tons of points for that, and get attack disables and not draw any Jericho cards. So at this point, everything could just have gone a little bit faster. We got some more Jericho cards, going to make sure we prepare an ult from Merlin. Also throw out the attack disabled. Try to build up some more stacks on Gother. And manage to draw some Jericho cards there. So move a Jericho card, attack and attack. That gives me Jericho ult. We're going to be using the tier 3 Gother to get a tier 3 freeze. You actually absolutely don't need to do that. That's just for additional points because I got lucky and got the tier 3 handed to me. Otherwise, I would have used the rank up earlier in order to get the tier 3 freeze earlier on. So rank up, get a 20% stat boost, and ult Meliodas. Meliodas has 650,000 hit points on phase 2 here. Elizabeth has only about 400 something thousand hit points, so she's going to be much weaker. And then once you ult the Meliodas, that buff that he gives to both of them that increases your health is going to go away. Elizabeth here will actually be doing damage. She can, most importantly, stop you from using debuff skills. Her tier 2 attack and tier 3 attack hits all characters and will stop you from using debuff skills for 1 turn or 2 turn, which can be really frustrating since this team uses, as you can see, a lot of debuff attacks. There's nothing else that can do attacks there, but we have ults ready to go. So ulting, and then the Merlin ult is going to give us a debuff so that way Jericho can crit, and that's it. That's the entire fight. I've been Zeenigami, guys. Good luck getting your score. If you've got Derieri, you're going to have a much easier time than I do. Otherwise, good luck with Jericho or Escanor or whatever you're using. Once again, I've been Zeenigami. Good luck. Thank you so much for watching. And y'all stay beautiful.